For this unit, we're going to start talking about circles and specifically how angles and arcs are related when they're on a circle. You may want to pause this video every once in a while to be able to get in all the words because it's a lot of vocabulary. So I'm going to talk about where they are located on the circle and give you the names of them, but you may want to pause it and just copy down the vocabulary as we go. So the first word is center. The center of the circle is the point that is equidistant or the same distance from all the points on the circle. And in that case, in this picture, we have our center right here. A circle is named by its center, so you might see circle O, or circle R, or circle K, or circle whatever. A circle is always named by its center. The next is a radius. A radius is the distance from the center to any point on the circle. There are infinitely many radii around the circle. For instance, in this case, we would have a radius OG. From O to G is a radius. From O to C is a radius. Okay, but then also from O to A and O to F and O to E and O to B, any one of those could be a radius. They're just not drawn in, and then there are so many more that we don't even see. So our radius goes right here, so you can see what it looks like. It goes from the center to the side. Okay, a chord. A chord is a segment whose endpoints are on the circle. In this case, we have chord AB. It is a segment, so we would name it as such. A chord is a segment with its endpoints on the circle. Now, if you'll notice, you could also have chord EF, but because of the way that this line is drawn, it has arrows on it, we're going to use it later. But you could have chord EF if it starts at E and ends at F. It's all in the symbols and how you use those. If we put the symbol on top, that's got to be a segment. So we're using AB as our chord. Now our diameter is the longest chord that's in a circle because it passes through the center. So this is our diameter. It is a chord, but it passes through the center of the circle. So in this case, we would say it is segment CG or GC. Okay. Then we have our arcs. So those are our segments that are inside of our circle. Now let's talk about the arcs. Arcs are portions of the circle. So a minor arc is a portion of a circle that's less than 180 degrees. 180 degrees is half the circle because a full circle is 360. So it is less than 180 degrees, and it is named with 2 letters. So there are quite a few that are on here, but for instance, I want you to see how it would look with the symbols different. Arc AB looks like this. Now notice that we have chord AB and then we have arc AB. Chord AB goes from here to here. Arc AB goes from here to here around the circle. So the chord cuts through the circle, the arc goes around the circle. In this case, we're going to name it here. This is our minor arc. Right here, we're going to use CD. There are many others, DE, FG, AG. There are many of them in that circle, but we're just going to look at those few, just so you can get an idea of what it is. A major arc is a portion of a circle that is more than 180 degrees, more than halfway around the circle, which the diameter is what splits it into half of a circle. It is named with 3 letters. It's where you start and where you end and which one you pass through inside, or which one you're going to pass through as you go around. So for instance, if I wanted to name arc, let's see how they are. We could name this whole big arc right here, right? All the way around the circle. So except for that one big piece. So we want to start at C. We want to start at C, and then we're going to go through another letter. It doesn't matter what we go through. Let's go through A, and then we're going to end up here at D, C-A-D. So it starts at C, it goes through A, and it ends at D, all the way around. That is much more than half of the circle. Okay, so major arcs are named with 3 letters. Your ends are at either end. It doesn't matter which one comes first, C or D, but then A or whatever point, I could say C, G, D. C, go through G, end at D, and I would still end up with the same thing. I would be tracing the same major arc. A semicircle is exactly half of a circle. It's exactly 180 degrees. In fact, let me finish this one out. I forgot to finish and label that. That's a major arc right here. It goes all the way from here around, all the way around to there. That's just one of them. Okay, so then our semicircle is exactly half of a circle. So in this case, it's half a circle. The thing about a semicircle, though, is you have to know which half a circle you're talking about. Are you talking about the top half or the bottom half? That is why a semicircle is still named with 3 letters. Now, the semicircle is part of an arc. It starts at C, it ends at G, and if I want this bottom half that I highlighted, I would need to use another letter. So I would use C, BG might be one example, or CAG. It doesn't matter. You just pick one of the points that's in the middle on the side. Because if I just say CG, you don't know if I mean to go this way or if I mean to go this way. So by putting that middle letter in there, it tells you which side, which direction you want to go. Now, an intercepted arc is the portion of a circle that's what we call caught between the sides of an angle. So say, for instance, we have angle COD. Angle COD is this piece right here, okay? And so the intercepted arc would be, if you look at it like this, if you lay your hands along those angles, right, the sides of the angle, you can see the portion of the circle that's left. This portion of the circle is called the intercepted arc. That's going to be important in the next few days. This is the intercepted arc between the sides of this angle. Okay, so you're going to look at the angle and you want to find the part of the arc that is caught, the piece of the pizza crust that's cut by those sides of those angles. A secant is a line that passes through the circle. Okay, so a secant, oh, I forgot to mark semicircle. Sorry. Mark my semicircle on there. A secant is a line that passes through a circle. So this is our secant. In this case, we would name it EF, and it is a line, and so we put our arrows over it. Again, I said this could have been a chord if I had named it with a segment, right? If we named it and used that symbol on top, just this line segment. And then a tangent is a line that touches a circle at one point. So in this case, GH is a tangent right here. It touches it right here. It just skims right off of it and touches it in one place. Now the nice thing about a tangent is a tangent and a radius or a diameter are always perpendicular to each other. So that comes in handy with some of the different problems that we're doing. Okay, so these are our points of a circle. You can see that the way that they are named is important because sometimes you're talking about a segment, sometimes you're talking about an arc, and so you really have to pay attention to what the symbols look like on top of those letters. This will be important as we go into the problems that are going to start coming up with central angles and inscribed angles and stuff like that. So you really want to pay attention to your symbols in this unit.